I welcome you all for this class. We continue with the Indian polity, constitution. In the last class, we have seen Article 31A and 31B, which are exceptions to fundamental rights. As I have explained in the last class, 31B also contained Schedule 9. Any law included in Schedule 9 gets the judicial immunity from the judicial attack on the grounds of violation of any of the fundamental rights. This is the peculiarity of Schedule 9. Today we are taking up another exception to fundamental rights, namely Article 31C, which is also an exception to fundamental rights, as I told you. Now, from exam point of view, remember there used to be a question that where Article 31C enters, Article 14 goes out. What does this statement mean? You should critically examine the question and answer. We will answer the question in this chapter. Article 31C was added through 25th Constitutional Amendment Act 1971, first PT point. This constitutional amendment has two provisions. First provision is no law which seeks to implement the policy laid down in Article 39B and C. Remember, Article 39B and Article 39C, both small letters, B and C, shall be void on the ground of its violation of Article 14 and 19. What does it mean? Even if the law violates Article 14 and 19, you cannot void this law, because if the law is implementing the policy laid down in Article 39B and C. What is this Article 39B and C given so much importance means both these articles aim to implement the socialistic principles given in Directive Principles of State Policy in Part 4 of the Constitution. In Part 4 of the Constitution, the Directive Principles of State Policy, these two principles are included in the Directive Principles of State Policy. So, if any law is intending to implement these two principles, then that law cannot be voided even if they are violating Article 14 and 19. That is the gist of the first provision. Then what is the second provision? No law containing a declaration that it intends to give effect to this policy through the said law can be questioned in any court of law. See, first is a general statement. Second is a total judicial bar. It is an embargo for the judiciary. You should not examine this point. This is the second proviso of Article 31C. Yesterday I told you in detail about the Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala case of 1973, effective from 24th April 1973. Yesterday I have given a very detailed account of this case. In this Kesavananda Bharati case, consisting of 13 judges and the largest bench, also called Fundamental Rights case, the Supreme Court has nullified the second provision of Article 31C. They said it is unconstitutional. What is the point? What is the second provision? No law containing a declaration that intends to give effect to this policy through the said law can be questioned in any court of law. That is, embargo placed on the judiciary to examine the validity of such law, that has been nullified by the Supreme Court in the Kesavananda Bharati case. Nevertheless, Supreme Court held the first provision of Article 31C valid. In a nutshell, Article 39B and C get the immunity from Article 19 and Article 14 and 19 of the Constitution. But the judicial review, embargo on the judicial review, has been held unconstitutional in Kesavananda Bharati case. Remember, Now, emboldened by the decision of the Supreme Court in the Kesavananda Bharati case in 1973, Mrs. Indira Gandhi government brought out the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. This constitutional amendment extended the scope of the first provision of Article 31C by including not only 39B and C but also all the directives given from Article 36 to 51. Article 36 to 51, whatever directives are there in the DPSP in Part 4 of the Constitution, Directive Principles of State Policy. So, any directive, if it is implemented through a law, that law will get the protection of judicial attack on the ground of violation of Article 14 and 19. So, 42nd Amendment Act extended the provision, extended the exception, that is the protection given to 39B and C, to whom? To all the directives given in the Directive Principles of State Policy. However, remember, in Minerva Mill case, 1980, Supreme Court invalidated this provision of extension of Article 31C to all directives. In nutshell, only two directives, that is Article 39B and C, enjoy the judicial protection from Article 14 and 19. So this is the justification for the statement when we say, when Article 31C enters, Article 14 goes out. Why? Article 31C is an exception to Article 14 and 19. So it goes out. That is what the statement says. Now we are coming to, so now we have completed Article 31A, 31B and 31C. These three are exception to fundamental rights we have completed. Article 31A included through First Amendment Act 1951, Article 31B plus 9th Schedule included through First Amendment Act 1951, and this Article 31C amended through, incorporated through what is known as 25th Constitutional Amendment Act 1971. So remember, we have seen what is Shankar Prasad case, Sajjan Singh case, then Golaknath case, Kesavananda Bharati case, and now today Minerva Mill case. So we have continuously seen all these cases now. Now we are coming to the next after 31, Article 31. Now we are coming to Article 32. What is Article 32? Right to constitutional remedy. Right to constitutional remedy. This is the right of the every person, remember, every person, whether citizen or non-citizen, company or legal entity, whoever it is, they have the right to seek constitutional remedy from Supreme Court. That is Article 32. See, any amount of declaration or redeclaration of any number of rights in any number of places, if you put all the 395 articles with full of rights, constitutional right, legal right, every right is included in all the 395 articles. But just imagine if there is no machinery to enforce these rights of the citizens, these rights of the persons, then what is the use of this declaration? There is no use. It is like a New Year resolution to be broken on the 2nd January. Absolutely no use unless there is a machinery to enforce these rights. So that machinery is inbuilt in Article 32. Remember. See, during the Constitutional Assembly debates, Dr. Ambedkar, who is the architect of Indian Constitution, was asked to indicate which article do you consider the most important of all the 395 articles. So Dr. Ambedkar said, if I am asked to indicate one article which is the most important and without which the entire Constitution will become a nullity, I have no other alternative except to point out Article 32, which is the soul and the eyeball of the Constitution. Which is the soul and eyeball of the Constitution. You need not suspend the Constitutions. Remember, There is no provision in our constitution to suspend the constitution. You can suspend the state constitution by imposing president rule. Even during national emergency, constitution is not suspended because council of ministers function, assembly functions, parliament functions, every organ of the state functions. There is no provision in the suspension of the constitution. You just suspend 2 articles entirely 2 articles for imagination's sake. You just suspend Article 32 and Article 226, then the entire constitution stands suspended. The entire constitution will become a mere piece of paper because the 32 and 226 are the souls of the constitution. So now let us see what are the provisions of Article 32. What are the provisions of Article 32? Very simple. Article 32 has 4 provisions. Very simple. Remember clearly. It will go into your mind. The Article 32 has 4 provisions. First provision, the right to move Supreme Court for enforcement of fundamental right is guaranteed. Remember, it is a promise given by the Constitution to every person. What is the promise? What is the guarantee? The right to move the Supreme Court for enforcement of fundamental rights is guaranteed. Number 1. Number 2, the Supreme Court has powers to issue direction, order, or prerogative writs, namely habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto for enforcement of fundamental rights. So, Supreme Court has powers to issue direction, orders, and writs of prerogative writs for enforcement of fundamental rights. Now, what are the 5 writs mentioned in Article 32? Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto. Then, third provision. Parliament has the powers to empower any other court to issue direction, order, or writs which the Supreme Court now enjoys. However, remember, the Parliament has no powers to abridge or reduce any power which is enjoyed presently by the Supreme Court. Remember, here you should remember that Constitution itself has conferred these powers on the High Court under Article 226. This is the third provision. Then what is the fourth provision? The right to move Supreme Court cannot be suspended except as otherwise provided in the Constitution. Except as otherwise provided in the Constitution. The right to move Supreme Court, that is in first guarantee, the right to move Supreme Court for enforcement of fundamental rights cannot be suspended except as otherwise provided in the Constitution. Now you should know what is except as otherwise provided. Constitution itself has given under Article 352 of the Constitution. If national emergency has been imposed on the country, then President of India can invoke Article 359 and suspend Article 32 in respect of all fundamental rights except Article 20 and 21. Remember, and then President cannot suspend all fundamental rights. He can suspend Article 32 in respect of all fundamental rights except Article 20 and 21. So, this is the position about the Article 32 prima facie. Then we will come into the details of various writs etc. in the next class. Thank you.